So Andrew asked me for some information about the bookcase door, which I thought would be a good idea to explain. This is the probably third or fourth one of these I've made, and I got a particular way of making them, so I'll run you through some details, and hopefully Andrew will answer what you need answered. If not, shoot me a message and I'll leave me a comment and I'll see if I can clarify. But yeah, let's go over the door. So it's all about measurements. So I had this opening, so the opening's from there to there, and I divided it up into 3 so that 1 would be fixed, 2 would open. I could have the whole thing open, but anyway, it doesn't matter. You just decide how you want to do it. This will get magnetic locks, and the idea is that when it's shut, all the trim lines up, so when you look at it you don't go, oh, that's a bookcase door. I prefer to use mag locks, so that's these things here. So when you put 12 volt to them, they energize, and that's a huge strong magnet which locks the door. I like to put one at the bottom, one at the top. I say I like to. I put a pair on this, which I'll show you in a second, and I managed to break them. So I've got 2 replacements, and I've had them probably a year and never got around to fitting them. But then you got a keypad. This is just a cheap keypad. If you know anything about these keypads, you can bypass them, so they're not super secure. But it's just a bit of fun. You can enter the code or swipe a fob, and then the door on the magnetic locks release for 10 seconds. On the other doors I've made, this is out of gas strut, so it opens automatically. So then the door opens. Now this door has been built over a year, and look, it still glides open and shut dead easy. Now when you're dealing with timber, there's a hell of a lot of weight, especially on a door this wide. So I've got 2 bookshelves side by side. Just one of these, this is all made of 3/4 ply, and these shelves are actually inch thick stair treads. There's a lot of weight just in that one bookcase. That's one of the pinballs. So these are 2 separate bookcases, and then I've joined the middle. So what I like to do is do everything in steel, because I can weld. So I put in, this is all 2x2 11 gauge. Actually, let me put a light on and show you in a bit of detail then. So you want, I use steel so that, that's Ghostbusters. 2x2 bolted to the floor, bolted to the ceiling. So this cannot twist, pivot, move. So this is what I've hang my door on. Heavy duty hinges. These have got ball bearings in them, and you can knock the pins out. So I could remove the door if I wanted to. So that takes care of that side of it, and then the whole thing is mounted on a steel carrier. So I make up a frame, cross brace for strength, and then there's steel going that way, which again has been cross braced to down there to take the weight of this. There's my 1 magnetic lock, there's the second magnetic lock, and when they energize, they go like that and they clamp shut. And each one of these can hold 600 £, so you're not going to just push the bookcase door open. Another one of the pinballs. But yeah, look, it opens that easily with all that weight of the bookcase, you know, with these bookcases on there. So I prefer, all the ones I've made so far, I prefer to make a steel frame to hang my bookcases on. These are just screwed on, so I could unscrew them and take them off if I need to, whatever, do maintenance, or if I want to remove the door completely, you know, I can take each of the bookcases off. But yeah, normally when the magnetic locks are energized back up there, and you shut the door, and as it shuts like that, it just would go like that and clamp shut, and that would be super tight. You just got to be careful of kids' fingers, because same with any door with kids' fingers, I guess, but these things will just press their fingers. So yeah, I just put a steel edge on the edge of this bookcase. This is sheetrock on the back of this one, so this bookcase is fixed. So all of this is screwed in and fixed. So this bookcase is solid. You do need to factor in when you're making measurements. Look how close this gets. Super close. It's like, look, if you can see there how close that is. So you need to leave a gap, so you will end up with a gap in there, you know, so that you don't hit. But yeah, this is all these mag locks need to be replaced. But yeah, that basically was shut like that, makes the bookcase solid. I've seen loads of videos on YouTube where people pull a book, or they reach in and undo a latch or whatever. These magnetic lock kits are not expensive, you know, they're like $65 or something, and I just add a second mag lock, so you end up with 1 top and bottom. And when they're energized and they're shut, you know, this thing is solid. Well, the ones I've done in the other houses and that, you know, you cannot push this, you don't know it's a bookcase. So It's just how I like to do them. I have got a video on my channel, I believe from years ago when I built another one, where I actually made an MDF bookcase to go on there, and then I hung on the top corner of the bookcase because people were going, oh, it's MDF, it'll break. So this is just sat in the carrier. The problem with hanging timber, like if you wanted to just, if you didn't have the steel frame and you wanted to just have a bookcase door and hang it on the timber, the weight of these two together, this is about, from memory, 48 inches. This will all sag no matter how you build it, even if you just did one huge sheet of ply and glued it and screwed it and everything. Over a period of time, this will sag. That's going to happen with timber. No matter what you do, it's going to twist, break, move. Trust me, I do construction for a living. I know timber ain't going to last. That's why I do a steel carrier. So that the steel is, to say all this, you can see where I've cut it and re-welded it, because the door did drop a fraction, so I just jacked it back up. Cut the brace back out, re-welded it, and since then, so it's been 18 months, the bookcase door is perfect. Opens and shuts fine. It does weigh a lot, but say with the roller ball bearings on the hinges, it opens dead easy. Kids open it, no problem. So planning is everything to start with. How you're going to divide up your gap. If you just got a normal size door, it's a lot easier to work with. But you want to work on, think about your shut lines so that when it's shut, it doesn't look like a door. I don't like having a handle or little bolt you pull or whatever. I just like to say I need to get them. That's going to make me get them mag locks working again now. You come down, just enter the keypad, and then I say the other one's up a gas strut on. So the second you enter the code, the door just opens on its own. On the inside to get out, so when these are energized, say they're not working currently, but they will do soon. When they're energized and they lock like that and they slam shut, you cannot open it, so then you've got a door exit button, and this one actually glows in the dark, so that when you push the button it just releases the magnets for 10 seconds so you can get out. Bit like a panic room. And again, if you know anything about these door locks, you can bypass them, so it's not really a panic room as such. I'm sure you could upgrade it if you wanted to, but hope that explains, Andrew. That's the way I build my doors. I have seen people use a normal door, normal timber door, and then they just put shelves on the front. Don't use a hollow core door if you're going to do that. You've got a lot of stress on the hinges when you start adding stuff. I wanted proper bookcases on a steel carrier so that we could put loads of, well, normally it has books on it, not blankets. But yeah, I wanted loads of books on it and the thing won't sag. So hopefully that's of some use. Cool room, by the way, Andrew. I looked at your videos and I subscribed because you got a cool setup.